Hey folks, this time around I wanted to go ahead and bring you into the studio as I work on this illustration. So right now I have color flats, which basically means that I've outlined each object within this canvas with colors. These are not the final colors, these are just colors that help me distinguish one element from another. And the way I typically do this is I will you can just see the skier in this example here. I do this so that I can actually see the character or the element separate from the things that are in front of it or behind it. When I work on these illustrated montages, each object is drawn on its own layer. And so this time around what I want to do is just kind of talk a little bit about my decision making here. So if we look at this composition, we can see that we have a lot of leading lines that are kind of moving us to the center. The skier is the focal point. We have horizontal leading lines. These bricks are kind of moving us horizontally from left to right. The bursts that are coming out, these dotted line bursts, are kind of moving us down towards our skier. This big muscular figure is moving us down to the skier. Everything is kind of pointing and reinforcing, if not directly, indirectly. For example, this truck appears to be moving us out of the composition, but it's being blocked by this figure that's looking back towards the top of the composition. Plus, I've added some tendrils. Again, those are creating explicit leading lines that are moving us to the skier. So that's important to understand because that's going to affect my color choices. I have the layout reinforcing a focal point. Now I want the colors to also reinforce the focal point. And one of the things that I like to do as I work is I like to look at the colors or hues as grayscale values. And you can see here that when I quickly convert the image to grayscale, a lot of the hues resolve into values that are very similar. Like you can't really see a distinct difference between the skier and the guy behind him. Even though the skier is in red and the guy behind him is in blue, these two hues resolve to the same value. In fact, many of the objects in this scene resolve to the same value. So that's something else that I have to keep in mind. I have to think about those things as I work. So where do I typically start? I start where I usually want to start. In this case, I'm going to start out with a focal point. Now, in order to avoid this video being super long, I'm going to just show you the techniques that I use to color the skier here and explain the rationale for how I'm adjusting my colors. So let's go ahead and start off with the magic wand tool. I use the magic wand tool. I make sure that I have a tolerance set to about 70. Make sure that anti-alias, contiguous, and sample all layers are checked. Here I've already flooded the color for the skier on its own layer, on a layer directly underneath the inks for the character. And I'll just use my magic wand tool. I'll start out with the skis. I try to ensure that all of my outlines have closed gaps to make the process easier. And for this particular demo, I'm just going to focus on manipulating the colors. I'm not going to add halftones or dots or other things like that because even though those things are nice, it's kind of like if you, put too much emphasis on the halftone dots, you kind of forget the big picture. So I'll hit Command J, Command U. I'll adjust the lightness. So I'll make the skis a bit yellow, make them a little bit lighter. And let's see what that does when I look at the values for the character. If I hit Command Y, we have good contrast. Now we can distinguish the skis from the other surrounding elements, which is good. I'll go back to, and I refer to this red layer here as the base layer, B-A-S-E. That is the layer that I'm going to then extract the other colors from. Let me give you an example. I'll use the magic wand tool. I'll select the hands here. By holding down the Shift key and using the magic wand tool, I can add to my selection. So I'll hit Command J, Command U. I'm electing to use light colors here because when I resolve those into values, the light colors tend to move me towards the focal point. So you can think about it like this. Wherever you want a viewer to look, if you have primarily mid-tone values, medium shades of gray and dark shades of gray, then using light values at a point of interest, aka the focal point, is going to be beneficial because then the colors will direct the viewer to where you want them to look. So that's why I'm using light colors. Now, why that specific shade of yellow? Well, I mean, these colors will be fine-tuned, but right now I'm thinking about contrasting values. I can always go back and adjust the hue to whatever colors I see fit. So I'll do the same thing for the helmet. And I think another good rule of thumb that I recommend here too is you don't have to use every single color. I'm going to use yellows primarily, and then I'm going to have another color that's going to work with it. So I'll just pick two colors primarily for the skier, right? So it'll be yellows for the helmet. I'll also do that for the knee pads here. Command J, Command U. If we do our contrast check, Command Y, we can see that that makes it pop. I'll also do it for his little pouch. Command J, Command U. And I don't have to keep them all the same shade of yellow. I can maybe play with the saturation. I can play with the lightness. And I'm always checking my colors against their hues. And I've talked about how I do this very quickly in Photoshop with a custom keyboard shortcut, Command Y. And I'll put a link to that in the description for this video. Okay, so far so good. Another nice feature of this technique here is I can simply use the hue and saturation tool to dial in the colors. I'm not making multiple visits to the color panel or the swatches panel, whichever one people normally associate. So let's go back to this base layer, right? I'll just now select his skin, his head, Command J, Command U. I'm just going to make the skin tone lighter. So I'm taking that red and turning it into a peach color. I'll do the same thing for the teeth. If I zoom in, use the magic wand tool. Again, I'm on the base color layer, Command J, Command U. I can take a lightness, drag it all the way, and make it white. And sometimes it's a little bit tricky to make those fine selections, so you either have to zoom in, or you might have to actually paint it in. So I'll use my brush and add that white in. And so I've got yellows and whites. I'll make maybe his goggles. I'll also make those white. Let's check our values, Command Y. So far, the appendages and the helmet seem to have really good contrast. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Now the colors can be, you can pick whatever colors you want, so long as the values have good contrast. So for example, if I look at the gun here, Command J, Command U, I can desat the color, basically robbing all of the color from that image except for gray, and adjust the lightness. So that's a light value. Let's look at that in Grayscale. Okay, so now we have good contrast between the glove and the gun, but we can see that the building behind it is blending in, right? So I have a couple of choices here. I can go back and hit lightness and make it just a little bit darker. And that improves the contrast between the gun and the building. And also it improves the contrast between the decorative bar that's behind the gun. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually go through and adjust the hues as values in Grayscale to make sure everything looks right. Okay, so far so good. Let's see, I want something besides that red. Let's go back to the base layer itself and just shift the colors in the base layer. I'm going to go with something that is more purplish. And I can make it a little bit darker. Let's look at that in Grayscale. Okay, so now we've got some suitable contrast between the color of his suit and the character behind him. So you can make something lighter or darker. I was watching a YouTube video from Retro Labs, and they gave some really good advice in terms of selecting color. Use the 60-30-10 rule, right? So 60% of this character is purple, 30% is yellow, and then we have the peach color, which is like 10%. So you really can't go wrong if you think about color in those terms. You don't have to add every color in the rainbow. You just pick the colors that you think are going to work pretty well. And so now that I've got this in place, I think I want to make the legs of the skier pop a little bit more, because right now the black of the skier's boots are blending in with the shorts of the character behind him. So what I've done here is, I did this previously, but I had a merged layer of the inks and the base color, and I added a stroke. So I just basically went to FX and chose stroke and made a white stroke. And what that does is it helps further pop this skier from his background. Now if I look at my Grayscale values, we can see right away that the character just completely pops from the background. And there are a couple of little bits here that I don't want to have that highlight, so I can just use my lasso tool and just get rid of those. So that's a little bit in terms of how I look at this stuff. I'm not even sure if this is even helpful or not. You can let me know in the comments. But, you know, the basic idea here is you don't have to pick every color in the rainbow. You can just alternate between some light and dark values. And you're kind of making a deliberate choice in terms of your colors. So I'll even make this kind of like an off yellow. Maybe for the goggles, just because people tend to look at the eyes of the character, we'll go back to the base, Command J, Command U, and I'll make these really light. And let's look at our Grayscale values. So far, that's looking pretty good. That one area of the composition, even in a Grayscale view, my eye immediately goes to the skier in the center. Before that, everything was kind of a jumbled mess. So as you work in color, the big takeaway here is look at your colors as Grayscale values and see if there's suitable contrast. What you're really looking for is some kind of a contrast sandwich. What I mean by that is if you think about sandwich, you have a piece of bread, you have some stuffing, and then you have another piece of bread, right? That top slice of bread is the dark value, the stuffing is the white value, and then the other sheet of bread is, or the other slice of bread is basically a dark value. So we have dark, light, dark, relatively speaking, right? So if we have that, or light, dark, light, depending upon how you want to choose it, that can give you suitable contrast. So I've got those elements here working for me here. Let's just do one more with just the base color of this truck. And a really handy tool to quickly move to a specific layer, you want the move tool active, and you right click over the area that you want to adjust. It shows you all of the layers that are underneath your cursor. So I've got inks and I've got layer 11. So if I choose layer 11, it immediately shows me this layer of purple. So what I'll do here first is I'll hit Command U. I'll just make this lighter. And right away, we can see that that makes that truck easier to see. Let's look at it in color. Maybe I want to have more of a greenish. I'll kind of make it a little bit more muted, right? So that's robbing some of the color away, but that's something that's important, but it's not like, in terms of hierarchy, it's a smaller element. So it's not as important as some of the other things that are in this composition. So I was able to quickly just look at this color as a hue and fix the contrast. And we can also see that the character in blue here, he's somewhat blending in. So what I'll do here is I'll just go back down to that layer. I'll adjust it. I'll start off by making it a little bit lighter. Or, I could go significantly darker. Let's just try that. Let's just make it even darker. And again, the blue is open to change, but now I'm seeing, okay, that's improving the contrast between the character and those rays, right? It's also improving the contrast between the giant and the skier. The skier now pops off even more. And this is something that I'm doing without adding any highlights or shading or any of that. It's just working with flat colors. So I think that's where I'm going to stop here on this video. When you're thinking about color, look at the grayscale values and check and think about where you want the colors, like how you want the colors to work in terms of directing the viewer to whatever the area of interest is in your composition. I think that's a commonly overlooked aspect. Most people, when they think of color, they just think about color. But I would say look at it from a standpoint of grayscale as well. So I can see, maybe I can just adjust this a little bit more. Make it almost super dark. And now you can see that that pops a little bit more. So if you found some value in this video, if you want to see more of this kind of behind the scenes stuff, let me know. With this channel, I just basically share the stuff that's on my mind. And I'm always looking to get some insight from people that watch the videos in terms of what they would like me to talk about next. So if you have a question or a topic for a potential video, drop them in the comments below. Just say hi, let me know that you're out there, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.